Hello, my magical friends. Happy Magical Monday. So today's little mini class, I want to talk about cards. And we're going to talk about really quick because it's a mini class, right? We're going to talk about the difference between tarot and oracle, and also about reading intuitively, okay? So first off, there's all kinds of different cards that you can use when it comes to reading cards for divination sessions, right? Hello, Brian. There are tarot cards, there are oracle cards, there are Lemron cards, there are angel cards, there are regular card decks that you could use, whatever kind of cards that you decide to use, right? A lot of them have their own system. Kipper cards. A lot of them have their own system, right? So if you're using Lemron cards, you're going to learn the Lemron system and how to lay those out and what they mean when they're facing each other and all those different aspects of it, right? The same thing happens with tarot cards as compared to oracle. So I am going to, I don't have my other ones here, the Kipper and Lemron, but I am going to just kind of tell you the difference. And then we'll go into how do you read them intuitively, because you do not have to know how to read cards to get messages from your cards, okay? So again, the two that I have here are my two of my favorite decks. This one is Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radley Valentine. I love the Radster. And then this is Energy Oracle Cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. And these cards really just resonate with me when I when I do read them. So what's the difference between tarot and oracle? Tarot cards is a specific system, okay? So if you're going to learn how to read tarot through the tarot system, you're going to have to memorize what each of the cards means, as well as kind of the story of the major arcana that are within tarot cards. So tarot decks are always going to have 78 cards, okay? That used to be the norm. I think it's kind of maybe there are a few that aren't quite that, but traditional tarot has 78 cards, okay? They have usually a box like this. It's going to have a little book like this that I never look at, and then it's going to have your cards. Now, you're going to have different suits. You're going to have the aces through, right? And then you're going, of each suit, and then you're going to have the major arcana, which are 22, I believe, different cards. So again, this is a system. It has all different spreads. You can use different spreads, 3-card spread, the Celtic cross. There's all different kinds of spreads that you can use. But again, the wheel is going to mean the wheel in every deck, the same meaning, right? The 10 of Pentacles, which is this card in the Rider-Waite deck, which I'm going to put a link above this video when I'm done, that you can go ahead and download a printable free Rider-Waite deck. Okay, so you'll be able to go ahead and print off your own, and you can cut them out, and then you can begin your tarot journey that way if you choose to. So the 10 of Pentacles is going to mean what 10 of Pentacles means in every deck of tarot. The meanings of the cards do not change from one deck to another. The pictures on them will, the illustrations on them will, but the meaning of it does not. Okay, so tarot is a specific system that you're going to be reading from, okay? Oracle cards, on the other hand, oracle cards can be any number of cards. They can be, hello, Cynthia, they can be any type of drawing. They can be any kind of cards. Again, you're going to open them. You're going to have your little book, which I never look at. And then you're going to have your cards, right? So there's, you could have mermaids, you could have Smurfs, you could have, just abstract paintings. I don't know. You can have whatever you want on your oracle cards. And again, they can be any amount of cards. This one happens to be a 53 card deck. Okay. So there is no arcana. There is no major and minor. There are no numbering, even though some of them, as you can see, these do have numbers on them. But I don't think they, I'm going to look at something real quick. Because again, I never look at the book. So I'm going to see something. Oops. Nope. I thought maybe they correlated with what's in there, and they don't. So you can have any number of them. Okay, so that's an oracle deck. It's specific to the illustrator and the maker of the deck. Now here's the thing. When it comes to oracle decks, these were created, and some of them will have like words right on the bottom of them, right? That will mean, not those. But this one, as you can see, right? That you can see blossoming abundance. I mean, you can kind of get that from that card, right? But this card was created by Sandra Ann Taylor because this is the feeling that she got from this card's meaning, from the artwork of this card, okay? So there is a book, of course, that comes with every deck of cards that you can go through and say, okay, what did the artist, the maker, mean to send out, right? What did they mean? What did they want this card to mean? What did they want me to interpret this card as? Okay? As I told you, I do not know any of the book meanings of my tarot cards, and you see me use them all the time, my tarot cards, and my oracle cards, okay? I don't know the meanings of any of them. Well, I can't say that because I've been doing it for so long that you just inherently pick up, like, what does a 10 of Pentacles mean? You know what I'm saying? But that's why when you see me reading with cards, all of them are very picturesque, right? All of them are going to have something that will tell me a story, right? Like if you see this card, you can create a story of what's happening within that card, right? So when you do that, you're reading them, and again, these are the tarot. When you have those pictures, you're able to connect with it on an intuitive level. And that's what I mean by intuitive reading, okay? So even something like this. Oops, that one's upside down, isn't it? So's that one, okay. Right, like you can get an intuitive feel, even if you didn't have the words there, like you could get an intuitive feel about what this card is supposed to mean. So when you're reading cards intuitively, you again use whatever spread. You can use a 3-card spread, whatever it is. You just have to have, before you lay your cards down, know what the spots are meaning. So if you're doing past, present, future, if you're doing the problem, where I'm at, and the outcome of it, like you have to know what you're pulling for, because that allows universe to line up with the cards that are being pulled out for you, right, as answers. Because otherwise, if you just shuffle and you lay out 10 cards and then go, oh, I'm going to read these just willy-nilly, it doesn't give you the precise flow to it, as knowing that I'm pulling, 5 cards for the next, or 7 cards for the week, and you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Okay. Or where I'm at, what I need to do, and the outcome. You can do it on any subject in any way that you want to. You can do very intricate and full laid out card spreads, or you can do a simple 1-card pull every day, which is something that I always suggest everyone to do. 1-card pull every day, either in the morning, what does that card mean for me? Or in the evening, pull and go, okay, how does this card relate to my day? That allows you to begin to understand and connect with your cards a little bit more. Hello, Samantha. Connect with your cards a little bit more, right? When you begin to understand them. So when you are reading intuitively, you're pulling your cards and you're looking at the pictures, okay? So when you look at this picture, there may be a certain something that jumps out at you in this moment. It may be the light of the sword. It may be his blue capey thing. It may be the chains, right? There's going to be something that pulls out to you. And that is going to be your main focus of this card. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So when you pull this out, that may be the main focus of your card. And that goes with any card that you have. When you pull something like this, it may be first, the coins that you notice the first time. It may be the infinity symbol. It may be that it's an angel, like whatever it is that pulls out to you. Okay? But the thing is, when you're reading intuitively, the next time, so if I'm reading for Jane and I pull out this card and it means within the, what pulls out to me in this card for her reading is the coins. So for me, this is going to be about material aspects. Okay? Oftentimes finances, sometimes health, but material aspects. That's what's going to pull out for me in this card. Now, I'm done with reading for, did I say Jane? I'm done with reading for Jane, and now the next person's coming, so you're going to clear your cards. How do you do that? You can do that as simple as this. That knocks all the energy right out of the bottom of it. You can clean them with putting a crystal on the top of them. You can clear them through running them over incense smoke, however you choose to do it. So then next, Sue comes in, and I'm reading for her. And this card comes up, but this time I may notice that it's these little petals. That's what comes out to me. That's what I notice with this card in that setting. That's your intuition being drawn to what is it on this card that's bringing a message to you. The cards are only there to be able to validate and clarify the information that's coming through to you via your intuition. So if you're reading intuitively, whatever comes out on the card is going to be what your intuition is pulling your attention to. That means that's the message of that card for you in that reading, in that moment. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay? So no matter what your card spread is, no matter what cards you decide to use, when you're reading intuitively, you're looking at what is being pulled, what is my attention being drawn to, because that's your intuition. That's how intuition works. It gets your attention. But where is it pulling your attention to? Right? Does that make sense to everyone? And that's why you'll notice all the cards that you ever see me use are going to be very picturesque. They're going to be something that is going to be able to jump out at me and tell me what it is that I'm supposed to notice about this card in the moment, in that reading for that person. Because again, if I read for Jane and this card comes out, it may be, one thing that I notice that my attention is drawn to for that intuitive reading. And then when I read for Sue next, it's going to be something completely different, but it's still the same card. But it means completely different. Yeah? Okay. So hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight into the difference of tarot and oracle. Again, you can use tarot cards intuitively. Some of the cards, like the Rider-Waite deck, which there's, again, going to be the link in above the video, that is going to give you the ability to download a free set of Rider-Waite tarot deck that you can print out and cut. What's nice about those, and here's the thing, is if you're learning tarot, you can go online and Google search the instruction book, right? The tarot book, like the actual book for Rider-Waite, to be able to tell you what the Two of Fire or whatever is supposed to mean. But they don't have a Two of Fire in the Rider-Waite. The Two of Cups, okay, whatever, is supposed to mean. And you can learn the system that way. You can begin to learn the system if you choose to. Rider-Waite, to me, is a harder deck to learn to read intuitively because the pictures aren't there. The pictures are very, there are pictures and you can still begin to use your intuition as well when reading them, but they're not as robust, okay? Like some of the things may just have 2 coins on the card. Okay, so, but I'm still going to put them there for you to download because I think you guys are awesome, first off, so you deserve something like that. And then it gets you kind of into the idea of, if anything, learning, hello, Leela, it is late for you. If anything, learning what the different number sequences mean, right? Because when you're in tarot again goes in your major arcana, your minor arcana, and then it goes into your court card, not your court cards, goes into your, I don't know what they actually call them, but your cards that would be your, what do you call, suits, okay? This one has the elements, it goes by the elements, but Rider-Waite has cups, pentacles, swords, and wands. Okay, so those will be your suits. And then they're going to be numbered from ace to 10. So that's a cycle. Okay, so it all kind of works in together. And to begin to know what the numbers sometimes mean can help you even when you're reading the intuitive way. Because then if you think, but as I always say, you do you, Witchy Poo, right? So when you're doing things intuitively, to you, if what you feel on the card is something completely different than what's in the book, even in the tarot, make sure that you're using what you connect to, right? If 4 to you means stable, because you think of 4 legs on a table, making it very stable, or does it mean, for other people, it may mean that you're very closed in, you're boxed in because there's 4 walls surrounding someone, right? So you have to decide when you're reading as well, what does it mean for you? Not only in the large scope, but what does it mean for you in that reading, in that moment? Because all readings, whether you're reading tarot, whether you're reading oracle, Lemron, Kipper, whatever it is, it has a story to it, right? Everything flows in with a story. It's not completely separate. Everything's connected. So hopefully that helped. There will be a reading tarot course that's coming out as well, so I'll let you know when that's finished, but it hasn't been finished yet. But hopefully that gives you kind of some insight again into what the differences are. What is intuitive reading? Intuitive reading means throw away the book, sit down with your cards and discover, what does this mean in general for me? And then when you go to start doing readings, know that it can change from person to person because your intuition is going to pull your attention to something different in the card every time. And it's going to usually correlate with another card that may be in that same reading, unless you're doing just a 1-card pull, right? So it's going to be different in combinations every time as well. If you have any questions or anything, make sure you post them in the Living a Magical Life Facebook group, and I'm more than happy to go through and answer things as I can. Tina asked, which 2 are my faves? Like my favorite decks or my favorite cards? Because the 2 that you're always going to see me use, first off, Radley Valentine, I love all of his stuff. I just love him in general. He's just a hoot and a half. But his Angel Wisdom Tarot, I love it. He's got a new deck that's coming out in October as well, so I'm looking forward to that. That is this one here. Okay, so this is one of my go-tos, one of my favorites, because not only does it give you the pictures in it, but it has an angel backing to them as well. So I really, really love that. And then the other one that I use all the time that you guys see me use is the Energy Oracle cards. And because starting out when you're reading, that gives you just one word, right? That you can kind of go, okay, this is what the card is supposed to mean. But as you get more into it and you stop looking at the words, there's some wonderful pictures in there as well that allows your intuition to flow and say, what is this card supposed to mean for me in the moment? And then I have the Black Cat Tarot, and I don't have that one here. And that one is one of my very favorites as well, because it has the same thing. Even though it's tarot, it has cats, which are amazing, but They're very picturesque, right? There's scenes that are happening on every card as compared to just having 2 coins there. Okay, so those are my favorites. Okay, so again, as soon as I'm done here, I will put the link to the download for your Rider-Waite tarot deck. You can find that on the site and download it. And then I'll also put the link to both of these decks that I just showed you as well. In case you're interested, you can get them both on Amazon as well. Okay, that is Magical Monday class. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderfully magical rest of your day.